I have just one query regarding my community assignment, because I already presented my challenges and my colleagues already provided feedbacks and their support on this as well. That's why I'm not updating any new context or partnership context of Nepal's, because it was already presented there. Do I need to present again at the community?
Um, the workshop was an optional activity, which we're very grateful that you contributed to and took up gave us a really interesting challenge, and there've been some good discussions. So for those of you who, yes, so here I'm checking into Scholar, and we're going to find Sumeru's challenge. Yes, so here I am viewing only updates from the course team. Otherwise, it's kind of complicated to find specific things. So so here we had the remote partnering challenge. This is very comprehensive. You gave us a lot of information. So now the community assignment is separate from this. Of course, you are free to use what you shared about your challenge if that's what you're going to be working on in your remote partnering plan. Yes. Then really all you need to do is put this into an update, and then the part of the community one, the week one community assignment that you might want to, spend a little time on. There's some beautiful ones that people have posted. Yes. So if you look at and many people have added an image. Yes. Added an image. Some people have recorded a video. But one of the simpler and actually quite meaningful ways to approach the assignments, given that you've already described, what is your context and what's the challenge, maybe if you could add, include a picture in your update, that would be my suggestion. So reuse what you gave us for the workshop, that's fine. It's quite interesting and quite specific. Just find the picture and tell us why that picture, that image, is you related to your remote partnering efforts. So some, I think, so here, for example, about connecting and figuring out the path forward for liaison officers. This is a nice one from Jason. You can see his picture here. Oh, why can't I zoom in on here? Okay, well.
Because I need to reuse that previous idea that I had presented. That's why I'm asking to be clear about this.
If that's what you want to work on in your remote partnering plan, then by all means, by doing the workshop, you've actually completed a significant portion of what will be in your remote partnering plan. And just to give you a sense of how we're building these, you will find that the week one community assignments, that's actually the first part of your plan. And I'm sure many of you have realized this once you've looked at the remote partnering plan rubric and requirements. So is that helpful, Sumeru? So yes, it is required that you post an update separately, but yes, you can completely reuse what you did for the workshop. My suggestion to add a little bit of creativity is to add an image.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Sumeru. All right, let's go to Geza Hagne, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name properly, my friend.
No, it's fine. Thank you, Reda. I have asked this question on WhatsApp and expecting a response from Hannah, but I didn't get it, and therefore I'm asking again here. The question is, in order to insert an image on the creator, you need to have uploaded earlier pictures or whatever you want to insert in the creator. So I didn't know how to, the uploading part of it.
Okay.
So I was actually looking for that.
Yeah. All right, so let me do let me show you, let me go through the steps, and then step 3 will be, after the first 2 quick steps will be how to insert an image. Here in the first step, when you first receive your notification, and we know about half of you, actually more than half of you have already accepted the notification, but yes, you now need to click on, initially it'll say create start new project or start new work. So the first time you look at the notification, that's what it will say. And then it will say view work. And that's actually the fastest way to go right to your creator project. Okay. So here, yes, I have already created my structure, and there's a video tutorial, that shows you how and why to do that. And now we're looking at how if I'm working on the aim of my remote partnering project. Here, there's already a picture. So let me just take this stuff out. Okay, so my remote partnering plan. Okay, and now I'm going to go fetch a picture from my hard disk. So I'm going to click on Browse Files. Here I've got two versions of the same picture, so let me just... And now I'm going to click on Upload an Image, and that's where this actually brings up you're seeing the files that are on my hard disk. So if I wanted to, well, I'm not going to use the same image that you've seen before, but if I wanted to, here I have my picture. So if I wanted, I just go fetch it from my hard disk, I choose it. Okay, it processes. Then I see file successfully uploaded. Are you able to see your file successfully uploaded message?
No, nothing is seen from.
Okay, that's a problem with the GoTo. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. That's a problem with the GoTo.
It's fine. I only need the process.
Yeah. So click on.
Fine, I can do that once I know how to do it.
Click on Browse Files. Let me see if I can.
And this will take you to your hard disk. Is that what you're saying?
No. Then once you click on Browse Files, then there's another window that opens up that GoTo Training is not sharing with you, but it's on my screen. And then you click on Upload an Image, and that's when you'll be able to look at the files on your hard disk. Let me see if I can switch the window and actually show you that. I think I can. Yeah. Okay. Do you see it now? Okay. Yeah. So now you click on Upload an Image, and you should see here. So let me try pulling in something else. Yes. Let me pick another picture. Okay, so these are the. So I've just selected it. Takes a bit of time to upload. Okay, file successfully uploaded. Can you see that now? Okay, and then the last step is actually to click on the picture I want to insert. And now this takes me back. This will close that window we were just looking at, and it'll go back to Insert Image. And what's changed is you can see this long link, and you don't have to actually worry about it. You just have to click OK, and then that will insert your picture. And this is Tulum in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Does that answer your question?
I think I had difficulty hearing you, but I'll try to go through the steps. So the initial steps.
Yeah. Oops, now I'm not hearing you, so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what we can do, is anybody else having trouble with this, or is there someone who could connect with Gezaheg after the session and just do a quick call and walk him through the steps? Because it and can you yeah, I think there's audio or connection issue that maybe one of us or both of us is having. All right, so let me just type after the discussion group and workshop. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And again, living with these technical issues and accepting we're not going to be able to speak, or that I'm not going to be able to show you the window where everything that matters happens. That's part of life now. So let me go back. So here in your remote partnering plan, actually, I'm going to undo. You will see the video tutorial. There's a video tutorial about creating the structure. And let me explain to you how this is different from Microsoft Word, which we all work in every day, whether we want to or not. So this is the creator space is really a space for writing, and its focus is not on presentation, what your writing looks like, but is really on substance and helping you to focus, to concentrate on your writing. And in Microsoft Word, we spend, or some of us, spend a lot of time doing things like, making our documents, our reports look pretty or look better, trying to figure out how to make them, how to make nice headings. So some people like to have, purple headings in an unusual font. You cannot do any of that in Creator. And that is just because what we want you to focus on here is on writing. So there's sort of education theory and research just to sort of support this approach. What it means if you're used to Word is you're going to have to get adjusted to it, as with anything new. Now, you cannot, for example, if I want to make a big heading here, just where I work, and I wanted to make this bigger, I want to make this look like a headline, you actually cannot do that. What you can do is create these elements of structure and have one element per section. So to create those is as simple as, I think there's a little problem with my mouse, which is preventing me from zooming. Yeah. So you click on Add New, and here I've already done it because this is the account I used for the tutorial. You only need to do this once. You create a section, and you're going to call it Aim of My Remote Partnering Plan, okay? And click on Save. All right, and that's actually to replace that one. So I'm going to delete it by clicking on the little red cross, click on delete. If I wanted to change the title here, I click on the little yellow pencil and delete. Now, once I've got this here, this actually needs to be the first section in my plan. So I move it up using the little cursor here.
Reda,
yeah. Yes?
No one can see the screen.
Oh, that's like being on mute. Okay. All right, sorry about that. We've got 13 minutes left. Can you see my screen now? Okay. Yeah, so my explanation of the biggest difference between Word and Creator, does it make sense to people? Does anybody have questions about that? All right, so follow the tutorial to create the elements of structure. You click on to create an element of structure, which is basically how you create a section in your plan. Just click on Add New. So here, I'm going to call this a new element of structure. And thanks, Catherine, and I know other people were trying to tell me in the chat, but I couldn't figure out what. Yes, sorry about that. So a new element of structure here, and if I wanted maybe a preface to my plan, okay, I could move it up here like this. And then I want now this to be called preface, so I click on the little yellow pencil and I save, and if I want to delete it, I click on the little cross. Now, why does this matter and how do you work with this? Okay, so you can see that here, I've got some bullet points for my setting the scene section. Now, if I click on preface, all of a sudden my text is gone. So we've seen some people panic. I just spent an hour writing in Creator, and all of a sudden, your silly Creator just wiped out all my work. So what you're doing is when you're looking at one element of structure, you can actually only see the contents of what's in that section. Again, the idea is to help you focus. If you're working on your preface, you want to focus on just that bit that you're concentrating on, that you're developing. If you're working on setting the scene, your content is still there. Scholar saves automatically. You do not need to click save. You do not need to click save as a new version. And you can always see what the last version saved was. This is useful for the saved at 1149 is useful mostly for people who work in low bandwidth settings, because saving automatically means that Scholar is constantly downloading what you're typing in, sort of in the background behind the scenes. So you need to make sure if you have very poor bandwidth, and I mean like modem 56K modem bandwidth, yes, you need to be careful about that. Then and may want to consider some of the offline strategies that we have, and to find out what those are, just reach out to the course team, and we'd be happy to help you there. So this is the structure. I'm going to show you what the point is and how what you'll be doing actually in week 3, but what you can actually already start using now in a way. As you work, say I'm working on the aim of my remote partnership. So let me see if I can make it. Yeah, I guess I can make it bigger like this. Okay. I've just moved to another tab here called feedback and to reviews and rubric. So if you're looking at this in the right-hand side of the screen, should be familiar to you. This is the rubric which we shared on Tuesday that describes what should be in your remote partnering plan. All right. And on the left-hand side, you have what you're writing, and on the right-hand side, you have the guidance for what you're writing. So if you're looking at if you're working on setting the scene, here you can immediately see what you're supposed to have in that section. You can also have the PDF download or the updates, especially the more comprehensive rubric. But if you want to keep it simple, this is what you need to do in the scene setting section of your plan. Summarize your partnering context, their operations, the roles and contributions of others, and ensure that there is enough information for the reader who initially knows nothing about your context, which is likely to be the case for your peer reviewers. So your reviewers will be using this when they look at your work, but you can also use it as you write, to actually just make sure that you've got everything in your plan that is recommended or advised that you have in the rubric. If I wanted to look at remote partnering considerations, and what you need to understand is that in week 3, your peer reviewers will be using this, and I'll now go to the second tab, and to review your work. So for example, if I'm looking at scene setting, your reviewer will be looking at your work in Creator and saying, okay, what I've now read Catherine's scene setting for her remote partnering plan. First of all, do I find that is there a scene setting? Yes. Okay, there's a section on scene setting, so it's not a 0. Does it align with the rest of the plan? Okay, yes. Does it require major or minor improvements, or is it excellent? So even if you really are impressed by the work and say it's excellent scene setting, you really get a sense of what the partnering context is, the operations, the roles and contributions of others. Your job as peer reviewer, looking at somebody else's work, will be to explain why it's excellent, and really be specific about that. So just saying good job is not going to be helpful to your author, but telling them more is going to be your job. And now the reason this is relevant as you're writing, and I encourage you to try it, is to do what we call a self-review. So as you review as you're writing your own work, you can go down to this feedback tab. So we were in about this work structure before, and now we're going to go in the feedback tab to review work. And you can do a self-review. So you can do this for yourself. Look at each criterion and ask yourself, how, with respect to having an impact, how good a job, how comprehensively have I covered, and sort of, clarified, focused on having an impact and evaluation for my remote partnering plan. And you can actually give yourself ratings, and we call this a self-review, and it's a very useful thinking process to help you figure out, okay, I've got 2 days left to finish my plan. Where am I going to focus my energy and efforts? By doing a self-review, you can get clarity on those issues. So the basic starting point, to go back to how you start in Creator and to kind of recap. in notifications to start your Creator project. About half of you have not started yet. You need to click, you'll see it first says create new work. Once you are in Creator, this is something you might want to bookmark. So make sure you can go back to just by clicking on in your bookmark bar in your browser. You need to create your elements of structure. So you add new and give it, the first section is going to be the aim, the second section setting the scene, then remote partnering considerations, then building your remote partnering, then the plan, and then having an impact. Once you have these elements of structure set up, your next job is to actually start writing. And here is what I'm sure some of you have already figured out. If I go back and look to the week 1 community assignment, once you've finished your assignment, you can actually, take this and paste it into Creator, because you have got at least a good chunk of, setting the scene and the aim here. So if I were Jason, to sort of jumpstart my plan, and is Jason with us? Yes, he is. And to jumpstart my plan, I would take what I prepared for the community update and move it and paste it into Creator. And then once it's in there, then I can start looking at the rubric, whether you're looking at the PDF you downloaded or whether you're looking at it in Creator under the feedback reviews rubric tab. And I can start looking at it and saying, okay, scene setting, summarize your partnering context. Have I summarized my partnering context? So this is me channeling Jason, and I say hi to him because I see he's in the group. Have I correctly described what's important? We don't need report content copied and pasted. We need what actually matters. Keep in mind your peer reviewers will not necessarily know your context, so you need to give them enough, but don't give them too much, otherwise you're just going to wear them out and they're going to give up. Roles and contributions of others. So let's just, and we'll actually be doing this in the discussion group. The participant presentations will be all about you presenting your Community 1 update, and then we'll be practicing peer review. So giving a rating and then explaining the rating when we start in a few minutes and once we've gotten through the initial presentation. So we've got, so basically the work you're doing in week 1 is going to help you with your Creator project, which you're also starting this week. And so you have got basically, once you finish the community assignments, you will have finished 2 of the 6 sections of your plan. You'll be 1/3 finished with the main project in the course as soon as you have finished your community assignment. Now, you may want to go back to this, looking at the feedback and the great comments that so many of you are already receiving from other participants in the course. You may want to revise and add stuff, but the remote partnering plan can be very simple. You've got 6 sections. Each one of them is going to be 1 or 2 paragraphs. So think of it, your task is really to come up with 10 to 12 paragraphs that describe something specific around the specific aim that you want to do to improve remote partnering. That's all it is. Now, the reason for doing it in this very structured way is because we're trying to help you, support you, guide you through the process, and then because it opens up this possibility for doing what you will see